Hello, everybody. This is Global Warming Skeptic here. The fun never ends with these guys. Oh, jeez. I start to make videos again, and it's just. I've been making videos on the Young Turks for about a year now. What, at least a year? Maybe more? And initially, it was a little bit hard to find videos. I would have to do some legitimate searching, but it's just every story they do now. It's just take this story for example, um, covering and all the TYT affiliates jumped right on this. We're gonna go over why this is wrong, but let's just kind of listen to a good part of this, and we'll just see.
George Zimmerman, the man from Florida who shot and killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin a few years ago, is now deciding to auction off the gun that he used to kill Trayvon Martin. Now, he originally posted his auction on gunbroker.com. Zimmerman explained that the Justice Department recently returned the weapon, and he believed it was time to move past the firearm that he would otherwise put in a safe for his grandkids. Okay? In the auction description, Zimmerman calls the gun a piece of American history and makes multiple references to his perceived enemies, including B. Hussein Obama.
Okay, let's stop there for a second. I want to come back to the Hussein Obama nonsense in a second, but just think about what a monster this guy is. He's saying, well, I'm going to sell the gun that I used to murder the kid, kill the kid, from his perspective, right? And I'm going to make money from it, okay? But my other option was to preserve it for my grandkids so I could show them, this is the gun that I killed a 17-year-old kid with. I mean, what kind of a monster thinks that way? Like, even if you think Zimmerman was 100% right, and God help you if you do, okay, but you think, no, Zimmerman was following Trayvon Martin, the guy with the gun when he had no gun. Okay, fine. Let's grant you all that for this second, right? Mm-hmm. And he wound up having to kill Trayvon Martin in self-defense, right? Is that still a thing you celebrate?
No, that's the best point out of this entire story. George Zimmerman is a pig, okay? And he's a pig for the reason that he continuously pours salt on the wound of the family members who are still suffering from the loss of Trayvon Martin, right? Even if you think he was right, which he wasn't, in shooting and killing Trayvon Martin. He's the motherfucker who went after Trayvon Martin. But anyway, beside the point, even if you agree that what he did was self-defense, okay? Someone died, and it was someone's child. These situations and get in the news with all this bullshit to add insult to injury to the family members. Have some compassion. No compassion at all. They don't care. They don't care about the suffering of this family. All he cares about is being in the press, getting attention, making money off of it. He's a disgusting pig.
Okay, that's about enough. Now, let me just open up with this question, Miss Kasparian. Who on the Young Turks, of the fans, of your Twitter followers, of your Facebook friends, Anna, Jank, Young Turks in general, I would like you to explain to your viewers who was asking for Zimmerman coverage? Who? This man was virtually forgotten about. Forgotten about. And then what happens? He puts his gun on an auctioning site. The press gets a tip. I don't know who originally gets it, but they get a tip, and what happens? Oh, look at this. Oh, here's a great story. Oh, this monster Zimmerman. Let's go cover this guy. So, explain to me what's worse. The guy who puts his gun up for auction, which I agree is a little bit insensitive, but I don't think it's necessarily a moral monster of a thing to do. Explain what's worse, that or the media covering it, not only covering, not only giving him the attention And you're putting salt on the wounds of the families who watch media outlets like yourself. But oh, look at this, free advertisement for Zimmerman. He may not even have to put his gun in the auction now, you stupid fucks. Because you know what? There will be a collector somewhere, someplace, that is going to listen to this media outlet and is going to be thinking to themselves, I want a piece of history. And he's going to get a buyer, and he's going to get a lot of money for that gun. Probably a lot more money because you advertised it. This is the thing with the media. This isn't just with the Young Turks, because this story's been everywhere, and I just have to let it out here. The media rants and raves about how much of a moral monster Zimmerman is, how he's begging for attention. Where did he beg for attention? Did he report to the press, oh, I'm selling my gun now? No. He never reported that to the press. Some person gave a tip to a press outlet. Maybe somebody in the media just saw it, or maybe the auction place contacted the press and wanted them to know. So, is this Zimmerman seeking attention? Or is this you seeking attention, Young Turks? Because you've done more to damage those families than anybody. Now, just think about this for a second. Profiteering off of the death of a teenager. Now, think of the turns of events, the timeline for all of this. You had Trayvon Martin shot, and then you had so much media coverage. Everybody was covering the shooting, the trial, Zimmerman's arrest. Everybody was covering it, including the Young Turks. Everybody. Everybody wanted their views. Everybody wanted their profits. And so, who's really profiteering here? The Young Turks, which is now worth well over $1 million, or a guy who sold a painting for $100,000 and is selling a gun for a few thousand. Yet here you are with, you've already got 13,000 views, and you just released this video a few hours ago. It was the 12th of May. And you're profiteering. I'm kind of beating this into the mud, I know. Because it really is just a simple point. The video doesn't really need to be this long, but it's just, am I the only one who thinks this is hypocrisy? I mean, I know I'm going to get Young Turk fanboys coming, thumbing down my videos, writing comments, all that. But just think about it a second. Even if you're going to leave a thumbs down, I just want you to think. Okay? You don't have to write down that you agree with me, but I just want you to think about it. Is the Young Turks immune from their moral obligations? Is it right that they're helping this man sell his gun to a collector, where he's probably going to get about 50 grand for it now instead of just 5 grand? He was just probably looking for a quick buck, so he wanted to auction it. But it's like I said, now you got serious collectors, and they don't care about the moral implications, because they're going to spin it as to it's just collecting pieces of American history. They're not trying to step on any toes. And somebody's going to buy up that gun, and they're going to pay a lot of money for it. So, Young Turks calling Zimmerman a moral monster, giving this moral monster coverage, helping him out with what he's looking to do. What is this even accomplish anyhow? Covering George Zimmerman. What's this accomplish? He's been acquitted. The U.S. Justice Department is not pursuing a case against him. No discrimination case at all. And nobody's pursuing anything. He hasn't committed any crimes. And so, what does this even do? Explain this to me. What moral obligation is there for this story to come out of all these alternative media outlets, all the TYT affiliates? You know, oh, George Zimmerman's a monster. Yeah, what does it do? I don't understand, okay, oh, he's a monster. It's like, you know, do you like giving aid and comfort to moral monsters? No. I'm gonna go ahead and end this here because there's no point in going on. There's nothing else to be said. But let me just summarize this. The Young Turks doesn't give a damn about morality. Anna Kasparian here does not give a damn about morality. All this is about is views. And they know the two names that get huge amounts of views are George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin. Big political buzzwords that will both generate views because they get searched a lot, and more importantly, generate discussion and interactivity, which are critical for YouTube. Because that's what content makers need. They need views and they need viewer retention. Anyhow, that's the video. Thanks for listening. God bless. And remember, do not give the Young Turks a moral pass, whether you like my videos or not. Do not give them a pass. Covering this is just as wrong, if not a lot more wrong, a lot more useless than anything that he's doing. Thanks for listening. God bless you guys.